Hey guys, so it's here. It's party day, party night really. So I'm gonna kind of take you through the house and let you see all the decorations. We are in the process of the party. We've got a few guests already, so I'm gonna kind of show you around and we'll get to getting into it. All right, let's go. Hi everybody, it's me, Jackie Armand. I'm back again with another spooky video. Halloween is over. It's now November. We're into, the fall. It's still the fall, but we're getting close, I guess, to Christmas, at least for some people. All of our Halloween decorations are put away, sadly. I don't know about you guys, but I always tend to get kind of sad around this time of year, especially beginning of November. It's like I'm still hanging on to fall, but Christmas is being shoved in my face, and I haven't quite gotten over the fact that Halloween is over, and it's just a very weird month for me. But I thought I would kind of try to maybe alleviate some of that, and kind of keep the spookiness going this month so we don't feel so sad maybe that Halloween's over, and post this video, which is our Halloween party and like how it went. But anyway, before I get to that, I would like to ask that if this is the kind of content you like, if this is a video that maybe strikes your fancy, that you would give it a thumbs up, and you would also hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. It is Halloween all year long here, so if you like that, please stay tuned because it is a lot of spooky fun on this channel. So I guess without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so basically, our party turned out really awesome. We had it actually the Saturday before Halloween because me and my husband were at Disney on actual Halloween. We went to the Boo Bash, which was totally fun. I will have a video about that and how cool it was. But as far as our party went, really great. The sign out front turned out perfect. We had it hanging in the window that was right next to our front door, so guests could see it right then and there, and we had a little no vacancy sign. It was like a neon sign that I bought on Amazon underneath it. The no flickered, which was really cool. It was a little pricey, but for me, it was kind of worth it. I see myself probably using it in the future for some kind of decorating, so it didn't bother me, and it was just like totally worth the money. It was really cool, something I couldn't really recreate on my own, and it really gave that spooky factor, so it was definitely awesome. And then when you came into the apartment, we kind of had everything arranged. We had the couches moved to different places to kind of like imitate a like hotel lobby sort of looking situation. And we had one of our end tables with the, we had the key hangers hanging so guests could put their keys on there. I had spare keys that I didn't give out for invitations for people who maybe didn't get their own invitation in the mail or whatever, and they could take a key home as a souvenir. A lot of people asked to do that. And we had a little guest book for people to sign, which I actually did buy on Amazon, a guest register for a hotel, so it was kind of cool. And people actually signed it. They like kind of signed it like as the character that they came as, which was kind of fun. And we had like an old looking phone that we got at Target. It was one of those like haunted phones that you pick up and it talks or whatever. It was kind of cool. And basically then other than that, you kind of like moved your way in, and we just kind of like had cobwebs on things, kind of made it look, you know, haunted. A lot of our Halloween decorations kind of already went with the look we were kind of trying to achieve, so there wasn't a whole lot that had to be done there. My husband had a whole like DJ area. It was kind of like over here set up. He likes to do that. We had speakers out and everything for the music. But basically then once you kind of made your way into the kitchen, I had all of the food that I've made. If you want to know the recipes, well, if you want to know the food that I planned to do, you can check out my video that I have on my channel that is me planning this party. I sit down with a planner, and I did it like months ago, and like really picked out the kind of things I wanted to do, what recipes I wanted to make, what projects I wanted to make, all that kind of stuff. So that whole idea stuff is there. I think I also linked in my Pinterest in that video of the board that I had all of the ideas for the haunted hotel. So if you want to do that, if you're planning to do that, maybe theme as a party and you want some ideas, go check that out. I've got lots of ideas for you. So the food I had, you know, I had the spooky cheese board, which I also have a video on that I think I just dropped. It has 3 recipes from the party that I made, and the, you know, tutorials on how to make them, so you can check that out too. So I had like a spooky cheese board, and just kind of had various cheeses cut to look kind of spooky. I had like meat and grapes and olives, stuff like that on it. Not too super hard to do. And then I also had this, the recipe was called Rest in Peas, and it was kind of like a pea hummus type of thing. And then I had these little croutons that I cut to look like tombstones that were like sitting in it, and then they were kind of like also on the plate around it. And I had some crackers, so that was another thing. Let's see, the next thing I made was I had some like coffin sandwiches, which those like got devoured. I wasn't sure how people were gonna respond to them. They were like pumpernickel bread that I had cut from I have a little coffin shaped cookie cutter that came in really handy, and I cut the bread with those, and then I cut some cheddar cheese also with the same coffin shape. And I basically, the sandwiches were just, they had like mayonnaise on one side of the bread, pesto on the other. Then I had layered, like I had the cheddar cheese, I had some slices of apples, and I had some alfalfa sprouts and some slivered almonds on the sandwich, and that was the sandwich. And then I just like had a toothpick in there, and they actually turned out really good. Everybody really liked them. I was kind of unsure if they were gonna think they were maybe a little too fancy or not, but everybody just ate them up, so they were gone by the time the party was over. The next thing I had was, I made some bone cookies. They were just like a standard sugar cookie. They had some almond extract in them, so they had a little bit of an almond flavor. And I used a Wilton cookie pan that had a bone shape. I had 2 of them. I think I got mine on eBay. They used to be sold at like Michael's and stuff like that around October, but I don't think they're sold there anymore. So I found mine on eBay and bought them, and they're a really cool thing to have, especially if you're into like Halloween making. I can see myself using them for like a bunch of other recipes. But basically it was just like kind of standard cookie recipe, and you kind of like form them into the baking pan. And then when they came out, we made this like sugar glaze to go on it that was white, and just poured it over there and let it harden, and they turned out really good. We had a little bit of them left over, and I ate them with my coffee the next morning, and they were pretty delicious. So I'd recommend that recipe. That's on my Pinterest. So it was really delicious and not super hard. My husband kind of helped me with them. He is more of the baker out of the 2 of us. I'm the cook, I guess. He cooks too, but I'm more comfortable with cooking. He's much more comfortable with baking, so I kind of let him take the reins on it. I helped, but he's the baker, so he can take most of the credit for those cookies because they were really good. The other stuff I made was I made some little eyeballs that were just like a little mozzarella ball. There was like an olive in the middle, and then I had prosciutto wrapped around the outside to kind of look like skin, I guess, and those were pretty good. On the same tray, I had these little figs that were, excuse me, got a little bit of a cold. I had these little figs that were stuffed with goat cheese, and they were wrapped in prosciutto and had skewers through them, and they kind of looked like little hearts, and I had drizzled some balsamic vinegar on them. I have my video of the 3 recipes that I made. That's on there. Those turned out really good too. People actually ate pretty much all of those. I think there was like 1 left on the tray at the end of the party, which I thought those might scare people away too, but no, they really liked those also. Oh, and the last thing I made, they were some little chocolate covered cherry mice, which is also on the recipe video that I have. They were just like little chocolate covered cherries made to look like little mice. It was super easy. If you like chocolate covered cherries, they were really good. So yeah, but that's pretty much all the food I had going on. Oh, I also made some chili. It was not really super spooky chili. They were just kind of like an autumn chili that I made, and that was like in a crock pot. I usually find, which I did mention this in my planning video too, but it's always good to have like a really like hearty meal for your guests. If you just have all these little snack foods, it's just not enough, especially if they're drinking alcohol. They really need something in their stomachs, and some people are coming after, like I have a lot of people who work on Saturdays, so like some people are just coming straight from work. They're going home, they're getting dressed in their costume, and then they're coming right over. So I like to have that available for people, so that they don't get sick when they are drinking a bunch of alcohol at my house. So yeah, so I just kind of went with this chili, and that seems to go over well. It was pretty much gone. I think there was only like 1 bowl left once the party was over. And it was just pretty easy crock pot chili. I just put everything in there in the morning and let it cook for a couple hours until the party started. Easy peasy. And then as far as like drinks went, we had like a cooler with Cokes, and we had some beers. We let people bring stuff. So a lot of people brought some things that they liked, and we had someone make some Jello shots that were butterbeer flavored, which were like so good. Those like disappeared too. I had a couple myself, so they were really delicious. My Mad Scientist bar that I did turned out so cool. I loved it. I bought these beakers like years ago at Michael's. They were like on sale. It was one of the times I went after Halloween was over to get like the Halloween sales of stuff, and I saw them. They were like really cheap, and I was like, okay, I have to get these. I don't know what I'm gonna use them for. I have no idea, but they look super cool. I will find something for them eventually, I'm sure. I'm gonna get them. And so I bought them, and for years they've just kind of been sitting at our bar at home, like our regular bar, and I've used them in some like cocktails before, like, and stuff, but that's pretty much all they've been used for. I hadn't really found a thing for them yet. And when I came across this thing on Pinterest it was actually more like a witchy potion bar, which is cool, but I turned it into a Mad Scientist potion bar, and so I was finally able to use all of these beakers and these flasks and stuff, and it was so cool. I admit it was really fun. I basically had some of the bigger beakers that were filled with things, like one was filled with vodka, one had apple brandy in it, another one was club soda, and then I had a big container of it was like an apple cider and some lemon juice mixed together. And so those were like the bases, and then I had made a bunch of syrups over the past couple nights before like the party, like the week before the party. Like every night I would come home from work and I would make a syrup or two, and there were some syrups that were like, there was a rosemary syrup, there was like a pomegranate syrup, there was a cinnamon syrup, there's like a bunch of different ones. And so all those different syrups were like in these other little smaller beakers. And so basically just people could come up and make a potion. So they could just make whatever they wanted. I had a guide that told what everything was, because all the potions just had little tags that had numbers on them. And then I had like the things that were alcoholic had like a skull and crossbones on them, because I do have a lot of friends who don't drink alcohol, so I wanted them to know what was alcoholic and what wasn't. So I had a guide that told what everything was, and then I also had just kind of like a framed thing of, it was a recipe sheet. So it was like, it had different potions, like there was a mind reading one, there was like all these different, I made a bunch of different names that were like super mad scientist sounding. They had, each recipe would say like, use a little bit of potion number 1 mixed with potion number 2 mixed with this or whatever, and so people could use that to make a potion if they didn't know what they wanted to do. And I tried a bunch of them throughout the night, the recipes, and they were really good. I can't take credit for the recipes. They were on the Pinterest link that I used to, do the bar. So I can, obviously, I'll link to my Pinterest, and it should be in there. The person whose blog it was on, they came up with the recipes, so, and they were really good. I just kind of changed the names and made it sound more like mad scientist instead of like witchy, but you get the idea. But it was a success. It was super cute. People were over there making potions, and it was great. But yeah, so that was pretty much the setup and the food that I had and the drinks that I had. We had a party game going throughout the party, which I meant to get some videos of that, but I kind of just got like lost in the hosting of everything. But basically, the whole thing was I had like 10 songs that were all instrumental like scores from different horror movies that people were pretty familiar with, pretty famous ones. And throughout the night, we started the party game right maybe around 8:30, because most people were there by then. And everybody who wanted to play had a little card and a pen to write their guesses down. So throughout the night, it was probably like every 5 minutes, we played a different one. We would announce it, hey, we're playing the next song for the party game, and we would play it, and everybody would sit and think about it and guess and write down their guess. And then after we were done, I think we went through and like played them all one more time, because we had some people showing up in the middle of the party game, and then we announced all of the answers, and whoever won, which the person who won got all of them right, awesome, and they got a prize, which ended up being you can't really see, I guess, in this, but it's the Dracula poster, basically, that I have back here. The old Dracula poster. We had an extra one, so that was their prize. And so that was fun. I think everybody got really into it, and had it, like, I wasn't sure if people were going to enjoy it, but they did. People got really into it and had fun with it. And then we had a costume contest, which we have every single year. Basically, I have found that there's this app that I've used for like the last Halloween party we had, and then I used it again for this one. And it is the best thing I've ever used for tallying up and voting for costume contests. There have been times in the past that I just used the cheering method, like we were like, who votes for this person? And they would like, just everybody would clap or whatever. I've done that. I've also done a ballot box where people wrote down who they voted for and put it in the box. The problem I have with that is when you have people who are drinking, they tend to not be able to either write very well or know what they're writing. Or sometimes I have people who come to my party who don't exactly know each other, and they're just meeting these people for the first time maybe, and So they don't know this person's name. They may not even know what the character is that they're dressed up as. Like, they may be like, hey, that person's costume is really cool. Don't know who the character is, but it's really cool and I want to vote for it. But they like didn't know what to write. And it was just like a nightmare trying to like decipher who they were talking about and everything. And then trying to like count it all. It was just took forever. So I found this app. It is called, I think it's just called like Costume Contest something. I don't know. I'll look at it after I'm done filming this and I'll probably put it here. I have an iPhone and it works on my phone. I'm sure that there's versions for it on other, you know, devices, but basically it works where you can set up a contest. It's really easy. And to enter someone in the contest, you take their picture with your phone. So when someone comes in, I'll usually ask them, do you want to be in the costume contest? Yes? Okay. And then I'll set up something and, you know, I'll just take their picture and I can put their name in or what their character is, whatever, and they're entered into the contest. Then, come time to vote, I will go around to everybody at the party, I'll hand them my phone, tell them to vote, and the way they vote is they just scroll and look at what pictures, and they just hit the picture to vote and they're voted. And then the app tallies all of the votes, so you don't have to, and it tells you the winner. It's so easy. It is so easy. It's the best way I've ever done it. It gives you like a first, second, third place, and we usually always have trophies for that. Our winner was one of my coworkers, my friends from work. Her and her boyfriend did Cosmo and Wanda, so of course they won. It was really cool. The second places were other two coworkers that I have that did the twins from The Shining because they were trying to kind of go with the hotel theme and their costumes were really awesome. So they got second place. The first place prize I gave was just a big key that I bought on Amazon that I colored gold. I kind of try to make the trophies or whatever kind of go with the theme of the party. So I just thought hotel keys. So she got they got a big gold key. The second place got another little key with a keychain, kind of like the invitations I made, except it was silver. As far as like the rest of the decorations go for the party, I was able to make the fake elevator doors that I'd wanted to do. I didn't really get a video of it because it was really quick. I did like over a weekend because I almost forgot about it. I just made it out of like insulation foam that you'd get at Home Depot, painted it and stuck it over our like laundry room doors, and it was, you know, people kind of used it, I guess, as a photo booth thing to stand in front of. Our bathroom, we kind of did like a psycho murder scene theme in the bathroom. We had black lights put in the light bulb fixtures over the mirror. So the whole bathroom was just all black lighted, which was really cool. We had like some glow in the dark soap that was on the counter. I bought like a clear shower curtain liner from Walmart that was like $1. And I had this red paint that showed up under black light, and I just splattered the curtain with it so it looked all blood splattered. We have from a previous year a skeleton that is bright green that glows in the dark, and he was laying in the tub. I think we had that for the Fallout party we did a couple years ago because he kind of looked radioactive, and that was the point. And he had like a Fallout vault suit on, which was kind of fun that year. But yeah, so he was in the tub, and then we had like a light in the toilet that lit up, what was cool, that I got from Five Below. And I also bought like a white towel from Walmart that was really cheap. It was like $3. And I took that same paint and painted my hand with it and kind of like put a handprint on it, so that looked creepy too. It showed up under the black light. And then we have these like neon dry erase markers that show up under black light, and we left those on the counter so people could write things on the mirror. I think my husband wrote a couple things first to kind of get started, and then people just wrote all over the mirror, and they were like writing quotes and just happy Halloween, whatever. It's like super fun. We did that another time, and it was fun, so we did that again. And it's always fun to come in after the party's over and see what everybody wrote or drew or whatever. It's like kind of a fun thing. One thing that was very unexpected that happened, so my husband was really kind of in charge of doing that endless hallway that we planned to do. We wanted to do a effect kind of like in the Haunted Mansion. If you've ever been on it, when you're going along, there's a hallway that looks like it goes on and on forever, and it uses mirrors to achieve it. Well, we went to make this, and the mirror situation was tough because in order to make it, you either had to buy a mirror that was like, because we wanted it to be the size of the doorway because it was going to be fitting in the doorway that goes to our spare room. And the mirror either had to be as big as the doorway, which is really expensive, or it had to be like plexiglass that you covered with a mirror like film, and that was also expensive because plexiglass is expensive. So we were trying to think of a way to do it in like the cheapest way possible, and we bought some of that film that you would put on a window to like tint it, so that like one side you can look through and the other side is mirror, and because we needed that anyway. You need that for the mirror that everyone's looking in because they need to be able to look in one side, but the other side has to be a mirror, so it can like the mirrors are reflecting each other, if that makes sense. And so my husband just thought, well, I can make like a wood frame and we can just stretch it over that and it may be tight enough to be a mirror. And I was like, okay, yeah, like that makes sense. That's a cheap way of doing it. And ideally it seemed to work, but then like once we put it together, it didn't quite get that achieved look. It did, but it was kind of like warped a little, and I guess, I don't know, it just like we kind of were like, it's not exactly the way we wanted it to look, but I mean it still looks cool. And he had like a red light in there and it did look neat when you looked in there. It kind of looked spooky. So I mean we weren't completely 100% like, we weren't disappointed in it. Like it just didn't exactly turn out the way we wanted, but it was cool. But then, it was getting close to the end of the party. It wasn't like super over yet. We had announced the winner for, you know, the prizes and stuff. And we forgot that the prizes were in the spare bedroom. We forgot to take them out before the endless hallway up. And so my husband had to take off the front of the endless hallway to kind of like get in there. And he just left it off. Well, then some of my friends were like, hey, this is kind of a cool place to take a picture, because somebody like went in there and was just like standing in it, and the lighting was really cool with the red and the shadows. And so then it turned out to be this like awesome photo booth. And so like everybody just kind of started going in there and taking these awesome photos in there, and looked super neat and super spooky. And so we got a lot of cool party pictures out of it. So, you know, sometimes when you come up and make a project and it doesn't quite turn out the way you want it to turn out, like that doesn't mean it's not a success. Like I feel like it turned out to be a like major success, just not in the way we wanted it to be, but it ended up being really cool. And it also gives me future ideas for future things. Like maybe the next time we have a party in this apartment, we could do that again, but as intended as a photo booth. So now I have like all these ideas buzzing in my head for like what I could do next. And so yeah, it, you know, happy accidents happen, and sometimes projects don't go the way you want them to, but that's not always the end of the world. And so, but yeah, in conclusion, I feel like the party was a huge success. It was super fun. Everybody had a blast. Everybody's costumes were awesome. Everything came together. I always tend to stress like the day before and the day of the party to like that everything's gonna come together, and sometimes we always forget one or two things, but in the scheme of things it doesn't really matter, because, you know, it's Halloween, and, you know, people are coming not only to see our decorations and to see our party, you know, be a part of the party, but to spend time with us, you know, and each other on Halloween. That's what the main goal is, you know. And so if everything doesn't come together perfectly, it's not the end of the world. And I have to tell myself that every single year, because I have OCD, so it's like I have to tell myself, and my husband has to tell me, it's fine if we don't get everything perfectly right. It's still going to be fun. And that's true. That's always true. Every single year. But yeah, overall success. Another party in the record books, and I hope you guys kind of enjoyed seeing how my party came together, and you know, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It always is, and I am always thinking about what the next theme for next year's party is going to be. I think, you know, if we're still in this apartment, which we probably will be, I know me and my husband are wanting to start house hunting soon. We are getting kind of tired of being in an apartment, and, you know, who knows what next year will bring, but if we're still in this apartment, which we probably will be, we might just go with a, like a classic vintage style Halloween, like a Beastal. The Beastal Company, which I totally just said wrong a second ago, but whatever. The Beastal Company, or simply Beastal, is an American company known for manufacturing holiday decorations and party goods, and particularly known for its catalog of Halloween decorations. Beastal was founded in 1900 in Pennsylvania by Martin Luther Beastal, who created the company after being inspired by his experiences as a calendar salesperson and his exposure to a form of papercraft during a visit to Germany. Beastal's line of Halloween-themed products, which was introduced in the 1920s, helped to popularize Halloween decorations in the United States. The Beastal Company is the oldest continuing manufacturer of decorations and party goods in the U.S. Brand kind of thing. We already have a lot of stuff like that, so it might be easier. I can do some like vintage recipes, which kind of sounds fun to me, like this kind of thing's buzzing in my head. I'll have to think of like party games that I could do that are kind of vintage, and I have some ideas for what we could do for another photo booth, like the, you know, the happy accident last time. But this time it will be on purpose. But that might be the theme for next year. I have a lot of themes in my head for things I want to do when we have a house, because there are a lot of themes that I want to do, but they kind of require a house or a backyard and kind of stuff like that for them to be really achievable. So we'll see. But I think I could still have a lot of fun with just a classic vintage themed Halloween party. I think that would be really fun. I've never done that before, so yeah, we might do that next year. Take a break from like super ambitious themes and just do a nice classic, which I feel like we could have a lot of fun with anyway. But that's pretty much it. I think soon I will be taking all of the things that I used for my party that I made that was digital, like the menu that I had sitting on the table with all the food, the like potion bar graphic that I had framed, like all of that stuff, maybe the tags, the stickers that I used to put on the key tags that I had for my invitations, the actual invitations, all of the digital media that I used to create my party. I'm thinking that I will probably compile all in a package that I can have on my Etsy shop that you could buy digitally and print it all yourself. Obviously, you'd be able to edit it and make it your own, like put your own address in, put your own, you know, name for your hotel in, so it's not the Armand Hotel, it could be something else. But I think I'm going to do that. I think that would be kind of cool, like a party pack to have on my Etsy. Some of you reached out and said that you would be interested in that, so that will be to come on my Etsy shop here soon. So that is what I plan to do. Hopefully it will be up there soon. But yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching how our party came together, especially those of you who followed all the way, you know, from the start of the planning to watched all the projects I did and everything, that you got the satisfaction of seeing how it all came together. I know it was fun for me once everything comes together. But again, if you enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified anytime I post a new video. I plan to, I think the next video I have will be a video about how our trip to Disney went, mostly the Boo Bash and like how fun that was, so it'll be like kind of another vlog entry. And then I have some other things cooking up for November to kind of stay in the spooky mood so that we don't lose it too much. I know Halloween's over, but that doesn't mean we can't keep being spooky, right? And then, you know, of course, once December comes, I will have a lot of spooky Christmas stuff up my sleeve, so stay tuned for that. So all the more reason to subscribe and stick around. Other than that, I will leave links to my social media and stuff like that in the description. Like my Instagram, I post a lot of things. Like I post a lot of things from the party. There were pictures, projects from the party that I didn't necessarily make a video of. There are videos and things from the party, stuff like that. Old costume pictures, and you know, lots of Lydia. Always lots and lots of Lydia. And I will also leave a link to my Etsy shop where I sell lots of spooky, Halloweeny, witchy things all year long. My shop is no longer on vacation. It is off vacation, so put your orders in if you want them. It is up and running again. And like I said, hopefully the stuff for the hotel party package will be up there soon. So if you plan on doing that, maybe next year for your Halloween party, it'll be there. And if you are new and you haven't watched any of my videos before, I have 2 books on Amazon. So if you're looking for something spooky to read now that Halloween is over and you want to stay in the spooky mood, please check those out. They're available in paperback and Kindle versions. On the Kindle version on Amazon, for each book, you can read a little excerpt first before you buy it. You can read a preview so you can see if it's your thing or not. One of them is a zombie romance, and one is a vampire adventure story. They're both spooky. They both have Halloween-y things in them, so like keep the Halloween mood alive. And I am also in the works of making a 3rd book right now. I'm getting through it. And if you want to read a preview of that is on my author website, which I will also link in the description. I think you can read about, it's maybe like the 2nd chapter of the book, and it is about a young woman who is possessed by a demon. So that's, you like that kind of thing? Check it out. So hopefully that will be published soon, whenever I can get it finished. And, but yeah, other than that, that's all I've got to say. Thank you everybody for the likes, the support, the love, the subscribes, like all of that. It's been awesome. I think it's almost been a whole year since I've been doing this YouTube channel. I think when I started last, it was, well, I guess it was maybe like January, February when I started, but it's getting there. It's getting almost about a year I've been doing this YouTube channel, and it's been really fun. I've had fun sharing my process, sharing my, preparations for Halloween, and just sharing all spooky things all year, which I'm going to continue to do. And it's been really fun, and I want to keep doing it. So thank you guys for all the support, for everyone who likes this channel, who subscribed, all of that. It's been really great. But yeah, other than that, you guys just stay spooky out there, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!